Hi Jonathan and Haley, hope you're having a good Labor Day weekend. This is your video lesson for today. There's three things I want to go over. I got your text, Jonathan, with what you wanted me to talk about, so I made sure to include all that. And we'll go from there. If you have any questions at the end, feel free to shoot me a message back and I'd be more than happy to answer that for you. Well, cool. So first thing I want Haley to be working on is the free stroke. You should be doing that every day. Every day that she practices, you should be working on that free stroke technique because that's coming up in three pieces. We'll be doing that for reals. And so we will make sure we keep up with that skill. Remember, I think where we left off with it last time is I think we were going through just the different string groups. Right, where the hand is going back this way. Remember that piece of paper that goes in between the fingers? Make sure to keep on doing that because we don't want it to split like this. You don't want that. And when I do that, I'm making sure that I caught a couple students doing this, so I'm kind of going through and making sure everyone understands that when you do this motion back here like this, you're not curling up like this. So you're not going like that. When you're going through and you're doing this free stroke, remember the guitarist wave comes straight back to the palm? What we want is to see this first knuckle right here. When I swing the hand back, that stays pretty flat. So if I go from here and I go back in my palm, see how that tip joint, it just stayed almost flat? I mean, there's a slight bend to it, but it's not very much. And I bring the hand in like this. Back to that X, my hand, you don't want to do, I caught some people doing this week. You don't want to do that, so straight back. Right back to that X right there. So this knuckle, this movement starts here, this one goes, this one does not. And if we need to, we'll do what I did when I was learning this technique. I took Scotch tape and wrapped it around the first tip joint over here in my knuckle, and I walked around like that for 2 weeks. And at the end of 2 weeks, I could do this. Right? So, that. And then if that's all looking good, you can do the book 2 Twinkle. So on and so forth, right? So if she's doing this really well, and that tip joint's not coming back in, if we're not separating the fingers out here like this by keeping that piece of paper in there, next step is the book 2 Twinkle. And then after that, we'll do the Slur Twinkle, which is it's a little harder, but there's a spot here, I think it's in the Giuliani, that technique pops up. So, all right, so work on that. Next thing is, she said she wanted to start the next tune. Usually don't do that until I hear the toy, and if everything sounds good with a toy. But let's go ahead and maybe guys get the ball rolling in that direction, and then when I see the toys coming on nicely and there's no issues with that, we'll move on to the andante. So I'll give you the preps for it. So the first prep is doing what's called a slur. A slur is when we pluck the string with the left hand. So you can see here I initiate the hit with the first hit there. It's this technique over here. So what we're going to do first is just the first step of that, which is she's going to have her first finger here on the 3rd string, 1st fret. So 1, 2, 3. And then first fret right there, that's a G sharp if you're curious. And you're gonna hit that note. And then what she's gonna do is she's gonna slam that finger down, the 2nd finger down on the note A on the 2nd fret. Right, let me turn this so you can see better. So first note, the G sharp on the 1st fret, right? And then my 2nd finger is gonna slam straight down on the tip of the finger. You want to get a nice direct strike on the tip of the finger. If you land getting a glancing blow on the pad or on the nail or something like that, it won't sound as full and you won't hear that click sound. The click is the string slamming against the fret wire right here. And that's the sound we want to make. That's how you know if you got to get really good hammer or a upward slur. And Hammer on is what you call it in rock and roll. And in the classic board, you call it upper slur. So we have, I hit the note first with my hand, or my finger. I slam that finger straight down on the tip of the finger. And you're listening for that click sound. I'll hear that in the beginning. So slam that finger straight down and right on the second fret. And then the next thing I want you both to look at this week is for Andante, it's in A major. So you use your A major scale, that scale right there. And the first thing I want you to use, go ahead and just learn the first melody, this part right here. Just learn that part first. And then the way I want you to learn it is have the recording out, but I also want you to have the music out too, because if I play just with the A major fingering, it's this. No, that was it. But if you look here on those little numbers, remember those little numbers tell us which finger type we're going to use. They're not necessarily using the fingering of the A major scale, they're using the notes of the A major scale. For example, that when you play A major, that note right there is also open string, or that 5th fret right there. But in the score, they want you to use the open string. So what you have to do is you have to go through, learn the melody, and then go back and make sure that you're using all the correct fingers that you should be using for this piece. So do that, and then make sure to use both like your ear for listening to recording, and then also make sure you're reading those notes and be able to name the notes for me. So this week, just get that first little melody kind of happening, and then once I hear a toy, because the thing I want to hear with a toy is, are we getting those seams that we talked about last time? Is there that spot in the tune that like, I can't remember, where was it? It was, it was it. It was, she played that hesitation right there. We gotta make sure all those are out of there before we can really dig in deep with the Andante, because guess what? They're harder in Andante. So if they're harder in Andante, but we can't do them for a toy yet, well, why are we doing it harder first? So get those down for me for next time, okay? All right, cool. There's your video for today. If you want me to look at anything, just send me something back. I'll be more happy to take a look. Happy Labor Day, and I'll see you next lesson. Bye.